Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I'm just going to chime in here real quick for 1 second to tell you about some stuff that I saw today. I'm getting ready for this half marathon tomorrow, and it's going to be brutal, but I'm ready, and I'm ready to kick some butt, and I'm ready to run those 13 miles. So a half marathon is 13 full miles. So I'm gonna need y'all to pray to white Jesus and black Jesus that I'm going to make it through okay. Also, I want to welcome you guys to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. If you're not black and intelligent, you might want to leave. If you have a short attention span, this might not be the place for you. But I will keep it brief today because there isn't much that I want to talk about because I got to get ready for this race. But, you know, hey, I want to say what's up to my League of Intelligent Black People. So let me see who's in here. I see our Ill Will. How you doing? John G. Jones, Masonic Research Lodge 147. You in LA. I'm not in LA. I'm actually south of LA or north of LA, I guess. Ventura, Malibu. Don't worry about it. You can come on in. Let's see. Jill Wilt, Washington. Good evening. Miss Venus, peace. How you doing? Mrs. Lovely James. I would rather pray to black Jesus. Yeah, I agree. Let's do black Jesus and not white Jesus. How about that? No disrespect to white Jesus and those of you who follow him. We know 80% of the Negro population is still on their white Jesus stuff, but the intelligent black people have kind of reconsidered the negotiation. And you can go pray to your Jesus. Just make sure your Jesus is black, because we know Jesus was black, if there was a Jesus, but that's debatable too, right? So I'm not even gonna get into that conversation because it ain't right. It ain't right. All right. So anyway, I want to say hello to Darius and Chester and Art, Israel, Extra Cheese, Ain't Telling, Ray McLean, Mrs. RN 2016, Gertha, Rossis, and Levante, and everybody else. Shout out your city right quick. Shout out what city you're from as well. I always like to see what cities you're from. Thanks for the consistent content, Doctor. Well, thank you for the consistent support. That's very important. I appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up button. Everybody, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up button right now. All right. Let's get it cracking. Okay, I see Baltimore, Houston, California, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Chicago, Seattle, Chi-Town, Oakland. Just so you know, our next financial Juneteenth investing seminar is going to be in Chicago. The last one was in Philadelphia. It was totally sold out. It was amazing. And when we make the announcement, probably next week, you may want to get your tickets because we will sell out in Chicago, because I know I got mad love in Chicago, and I got mad love for Chicago. So that'll be our next city. I think the next city after that might be Los Angeles, something like that. All right, so let's get it cracking. Let's jump in here and talk about this. How many of you, let's start with this simple question. How many of you think Jussie Smollett is guilty and full of shit? How many of you think Jussie is guilty or not guilty? Do you think Jussie did it or didn't do it? You know, when Jussie came out, said, I'm the gay Tupac, and they chased me down in negative 15-degree weather. Some white boys recognized me in negative 15-degree weather, and they were both wearing MAGA hats. I was on my way to go get a Subway footlong at 2 o'clock in the morning in negative 15-degree weather because I was just that hungry. And as a celebrity, I have nobody else who could do this for me. And they found me in the middle of the street and said, "Hey, aren't you that nigga from Empire?" As if people were actually going to really recognize me like that in the middle of the night in negative 15-degree weather. And they beat my ass and poured gasoline on me and pulled my hair and called me a bitch, and whatever else he said happened. He just kept embellishing the story as he went along because he's apparently an attention whore. He likes the attention, right? And that's fine. That's his thing. That's who he is. It is what it is. Okay, so all right. So that's the question. So I see a lot of guilties. I see some not guilties. Doretta says not guilty. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So okay. So how many of y'all thought, even whether you thought Jussie was guilty or not guilty? How many of y'all thought Jussie was enjoying the moment? How many of y'all felt like Jussie was ecstatic to run around telling everybody he's the gay Tupac and he's going to be, like I'm the gay Lee Daniels and like I'm the greatest black man, to ever walk the face of the earth, and I'm amazing, and also I'm gay, and I'm special. That makes me special. Like, how many of y'all thought that Jussie kind of, really overdid it? Like Jussie was really kind of getting it in terms of, really almost like he enjoyed getting his ass whooped. Like if he did get his ass whooped, he enjoyed it. Like he really wanted the attention that he was receiving. How many of y'all felt that Jussie enjoyed getting the attention that he had? I felt like he enjoyed it. I felt like if he could have went out there and got his butt whooped for real, he would have done it, because it seemed to me like he had an agenda where he was looking to, I don't know what he was trying to get exactly. I'm guessing maybe just something else he could use against, the MAGA supporters, or something he could use to make himself a martyr, or something he could use, to make himself into whatever. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm a Chicagoite, and I knew from the jump that he was lying. Let me tell you how I knew. That weekend, it was so damn cold. The polar vortex came through Chicago that week, if I'm not mistaken. And was anybody part of the polar vortex? Tell me if you had the distinct displeasure of participating in the polar vortex. The polar vortex was so cold. It was so cold that you literally could not. I went out in the garage, and I was so cold in the garage that I was like, I got to go back in the house because the garage is too cold for me. That's how cold that polar vortex was. So, the idea that he was out looking for a foot long in the middle of the night, in the middle of the polar vortex just seemed a little strange. I was like, bro, you can go get a sub. They got Uber Eats, they got Grubhub, and they got DoorDash, and you're a celebrity. So, and your hotel probably got room service, I would hope, wherever you're staying at. You really got to do all that? Can you get a Domino's pizza delivered? I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense. I felt like he was lying. And so later on, when the two guys came out, the two brothers from Nigeria came out and said, or they caught the brothers from Nigeria and they locked them up, and then they started cooperating with the cops. None of that surprised me. It wasn't like any of that was like, oh my God, I can't believe Jussie would lie. He just seems so honest and ethical. I mean, after all, he is the gay Tupac. So why would he lie if he were the gay Tupac? I mean, he's a wonderful, wonderful human being, right? And he cannot tell a lie, and which is the biggest lie ever told. And none of it surprised me. And so what I think where things started getting strange though was, I paid attention to a couple of things. First of all, the change in public sentiment. People went from saying, Jussie, you're full of shit, to feeling like Jussie was another black man who'd been served an injustice. I didn't understand that completely, honestly, because I felt like Jussie did something wrong. I believe he did something wrong. I don't care if you're pro-MAGA, against MAGA, pro-liberal, against... I don't care what your political ideology is, but if you got to go out here faking attacks to make Trump supporters or whoever look like bad people that want to just kill black people in their sleep, then that means that maybe there's something that's not accurate about our perception as every single Trump supporter, being a complete racist. I know some Trump supporters. I know some black Trump supporters, and I've never heard of any of them saying, I want to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning in negative 15-degree weather and go find a black man and beat his ass because it's MAGA country. And the funny thing is, Chicago's not even MAGA country. Chicago is as liberal as they come. So we just got a gay female mayor. So you don't get much more liberal than that. And so the idea of this whole MAGA country story just seemed weird from the jump. And I will say that I can understand why some of the people who happen to vote Republican or whatever are a little offended by this. I don't know. Maybe y'all think I'm cooling out by saying this, but I mean, it ain't no different from when people do dumb shit and then say the black man did it, because they can't find a black man who actually did the crime, because most black men don't commit crimes like the one that they're accusing black men of. But they said a black man did it because everybody believes a black man did it. So Jussie beats himself in the ass, or whatever happened to him, or whatever he did to himself, and he says it was a MAGA supporter wearing a MAGA hat and said, "This is MAGA country, nigger." I think that Jussie was wrong, and there's no question about that. Now, the question becomes at that point where things also got weird was he was overcharged. Jussie, how many of you thought Jussie deserved some jail time for what he did? How many of you felt that Jussie deserved a little bit of time in the pen for what he did, or jail time or whatever? How many of you felt that jail time was the appropriate response? Let me know. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did Jussie deserve jail time for what he did? I'm looking at your comments. See, Champ says, I can't stand Trump, but damn. Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. I'm not a fan of Trump. You guys have heard my analysis of it. Okay, so JS feels like Jussie deserved jail time. How many of the rest of y'all felt like he deserved jail time? Okay, and Dale says no. KT says no. Get Becky first. Shit, I mean, Jussie's damn near Becky the way he behaves. I mean, I don't think Jussie is. I don't really know if I can't tell if Jussie's an ally or not. Now they sort of have made blackness synonymous with the LGBT agenda, and I don't think most black people I know, most of the black people I roll with are not down with that agenda. It doesn't mean that they have an issue with people being from the LGBT space. It just means that they don't like the way it's been pushed upon them. They don't like being pressured the way they've been pressured or called homophobic when you're not homophobic, and being attacked unfairly, and having people compare gayness to being black. Gayness, who you sleep with is who you sleep with, but that ain't the same as being black. If I say committing adultery is a sexual preference, or having threesomes is a sexual preference, so I'm a triangular lover and I'm gonna wear it on a t-shirt and I want everybody to celebrate that and tell me that it's okay. I think that some people would probably say, no, boys, like that's what you do. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you about it, but don't ask us to give you approval and to constantly tell you that what you're doing is a wonderful thing, because we might disagree, right? And I think that that's perfectly fine for you to feel that way, and that's just where I stand. It's not anti anybody. It's just leave black people the hell alone. That's been my position on the LGBT agenda. Just leave black people alone. Don't bring us into your shit. Don't bring. We are a different kind of people. We have a different kind of culture. We have a different way internally of handling these things. We're like the countries in Africa where you're telling them how to live, how to behave, what's right, what's wrong. They don't want to hear that shit. That's why I was explaining to you guys on the channel not too long ago that Kenyans and Nigerians and Ethiopians and other African countries are doing deals with the Chinese because the Chinese mind their own damn business. The Chinese understand the law of mind your own motherfucking business, and they don't get into how the Africans decide to run their social policy. They believe that they have the freedom. They have a policy of non-interference. That's why they're making deals with the Chinese. So if you ever want to wonder why so much Chinese money is in Africa and Jamaica and third world countries, it's because they're sick of the United States. They had to pick Coke or Pepsi. They chose Pepsi. They had to pick Burger King and McDonald's. They chose Burger King. They had to pick Democrat or Republican, and they chose the Democrats. That's pretty much what it is. It's either the United States and all their bullshit and their self-righteous nonsense and their dysfunctional government that might change the policies next year, versus China. That's a little bit weird, very imperialistic in a softer way, but they're never going to pull up with battleships on our shores. They're never going to tell us how to live, how to define our public policy, and they're going to show up with the money the way they said they would most of the time. So they go with the Chinese. That's what it is. Doesn't mean they love either country. It just means that they're picking the best deal for themselves. So with that said, the black community, I think, is like a lot of African countries. Just leave us alone. Stop telling black people how we're supposed to view anything, whether it's feminism, homosexuality, or whatever, because that's what white folks like to do as a collective. They like to use their financial power to control how you think, and I'm not a fan of that at all, right? Again, I'm an expert on money and the power of money and how the power of money shapes political policy and how it shapes influence that one human being has over another. My expertise is financial psychology, so I see exactly what they're doing. They're using their economic power to push forward a political agenda. That's all it is. Okay, so with that said, Jussie's a part of it. Jussie's a tool. Jussie is an instrument of that imperialism to get black people to sort of get on with their agenda. And so Jussie goes out and tells a damn lie so that Jussie can get attention for his own career. And then Jussie aligns himself with an ongoing political movement in which they engage in the shameful act of making up a story to discredit the opposition. When, again, if you give me a real story where a real MAGA supporter beat somebody's ass because they were black, then I'm a ride with you. I'm totally with you on that. But if you have to go make shit up, that means that you ain't got enough real shit. So you're substituting the real shit for the bullshit. Right? Which means you ain't shit. If you got to substitute the real shit with the bullshit, then that means you ain't shit to me, because you're a damn liar and you're making stuff up and it's nonsense. So Jussie lied. I believe Jussie lied. Jussie was wrong. I believe Jussie was wrong. Did Jussie deserve jail time? I think he deserved a punishment. The same way, not quite the same, but same. When a woman makes up and screams rape and a man did not actually rape her, I think she deserves as much jail time as the rapist would have gotten. Because if you're going to send him away, if you're going to make up a story and send him away to prison to be raped over and over again, then you also deserve to go to prison for the same amount of time he did. There's no question about that. But with Jussie, does he deserve years in prison? I wouldn't say I agree with that. Does he deserve to go to prison at all? I don't know about that. Does he deserve a little jail time? Maybe that teaches him a lesson, shuts him down, makes a clear point. Like, look, if you're going to have a political battle, at least fight fair. Don't go out here making stuff up, and don't go jumping on bandwagons just because somebody said something happened. Look for proof, look for evidence. I've been saying that since the Me Too movement began. You have to look for evidence. Stop believing people because they said it, because there are liars who take advantage of these movements. There are liars out here who see what everybody else is doing, and then they just make something up. up and they run with it. Like there's a poor little white girl, a Mexican girl, I'm sorry, she was working in a Chipotle or something, and these black men who were flat out motherfucking thieves. I mean, flat out thieves. Like they were doing a dine and dash where they would get the food, pull out the credit card would get declined, then they run with the food, right? And she was trying to stop them from doing that, and they used use our legitimate movement to basically put the video of this lady on social media and shame her. And everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Oh, you racist bitch, you blah 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 blah, you blah blah blah. I understand the anger. I understand we upset. I understand that white folks done did some horrible things, but I think that we maybe might want to grab a couple of facts before we start bandwagon and going off on people. That's just, but then again, maybe I'm crazy. That's why I always say that my platform's for intelligent black people, because people who jump on bandwagons probably don't understand me very well, because I'm not as dumb as you. All right, so anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that. Hit the thumbs up button. Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. Don't forget, we are on iTunes, so make sure that you download the podcast on iTunes. You can also look up Your Black World. That's the other channel I appear on. That's also on iTunes as well. So please support black media. We need your support. Without your support, we can't do anything. So we really could use your backing. So please hit the thumbs up button. That's the first thing you could do. Also, don't forget my new book, Black American Money, just came out. So if you want to go take a look at the Black American Money series, Black American Money 3 is the third part of the series. If you want to see the whole series, go to blackamericanmoney.com. That's blackamericanmoney.com. All right. So basically, here's what Trump said about Jussie Smollett. Trump comes in and he tweets that in addition to great incompetence and corruption, the Smollett case in Chicago is also about a hate crime. Remember, MAGA country did it. That turned out to be a total lie and had nothing to do with MAGA country. Serious stuff, and not even an apology to millions of people. I'm going to go ahead and jump out on a limb on a couple of things and say number one, I think Jussie Smollett does owe an apology to all the honest people that are out there. I don't know if people think I'm crazy or a jerk or a loser for saying this, but I know some people who are Trump supporters who are not bad people. I know black Christians who support Trump because they just don't like the Democrats. I don't think that makes them bad people. I know white people who support Trump who are scared to say it because people are going to say that they're racist. I don't think that always makes them bad people. Do I think Donald Trump's a bad person? He could be. I don't think he's a good person. The man's got 18 ex-wives and babies' mamas and rape charges and all kinds of stuff. So he is definitely about the most ridiculous, about as ridiculous as they come in a lot of regards. But I don't think anybody who chose him for the White House should be ridiculed and attacked for that or called something that they're not. That's just my 2 cents on it. I know a lot of people won't agree with that. But then again, y'all know me. I can't stand the Democrats either. So with that said, I think an apology was owed. I think, you can't just go and make a false accusation and not realize that you're hurting not just the people who ride with you because they believed in you, but you're also hurting the people who were falsely accused. So we expect a white woman to apologize when she falsely accuses a black man of rape, or when a white man murders his wife and then says a black man did it. If we expect an apology for that, then you should expect an apology from Jussie Smollett, who went out and did, I don't know what the hell he must have done, attacked himself or whatever the hell happened here, and then said, oh, it was a MAGA supporter who did it. That's my 2 cents. So I think Trump's involvement is going to make this case really interesting. I think that the people in Chicago are very nervous. As you know, recently they were forced to unseal the records in the Jussie Smollett situation, which I think is going to create additional complications for them. And I think that it's going to be interesting. I think that they're not going to stop until they get blood. Do I think white people are overreacting to this? Yeah, they are a little bit, in the sense that there are bigger fish to fry. There are greater injustices to deal with. Jussie Smollett deserved a punishment that was consistent with the crime. I felt like he was overcharged from the beginning, and that's why they let him go, because I think, or part of the reason why I think, it was because he was overcharged from the jump. But then also, I do believe that there were some inner workings from Michelle Obama's camp and some other people who want to let things go when a gay guy does some ridiculous shit. But if he had been a MAGA supporter, if he'd been, some regular white boy, I don't think they would let that shit go. I think they would have pushed super hard on this. So again, I mean, if you don't fight a battle and you throw truth and fairness out the window, then you're no better than the people that you're fighting against. All of y'all a bunch of just blind assholes that are just fighting for power. And that's all good. I mean, that's the way the world works. The Democrats lie, Republicans lie. But I personally believe that there should be some value in telling the truth and at least attacking honestly. I'm sure there's plenty of crazy ass rednecks out here who support MAGA, who will do real legitimate crazy shit that you can go after without having to make up a story. And that's my point. That's my point. I'm not saying that everything's good and that all this deserves the attention that it's getting. It doesn't. I think Donald Trump, he has his own biases. We know Trump wouldn't say anything if it were, if the allegation were against some redneck white boy. We know Trump's bias. We know what kind of person he is. So the thing is, I'm doing analysis here. I'm not really telling you what to think. I'm just giving you facts and laying out information, laying out a perspective that hopefully will help you shape your perspective too. So I'm going to go. I told you guys I'm going to try to keep some of my videos shorter. Sometimes I go longer. Sometimes I want to keep it short so I can get back to work. But I like to talk to you guys about everything that's happening in the black community because I'm not just a finance professor who happens to be black. I'm a black man who happens to be a finance professor. So when it goes down, I'm with you. If you have topics that you want to suggest that I cover, when I make my little comment in the top of the video, feel free to put in suggested topics. Feel free to tell me, hey, I think you should cover this, or hey, Boyce, what do you think about that, or whatever. I love answering questions. I love talking to you guys, and I love all of you very, very much, and I appreciate your support. So please hit that thumbs up button before you go. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please take 1 second right now. On the count of 3, hit the thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, also, please share the video. And also, don't forget my new book, Black American Money 3, is out. So you can go take a look at it at blackAmericanMoney.com. That's blackAmericanMoney.com. And of course, you guys know we have our financial workbooks for children, which you can check out at financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.